Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. This week, we're going to be focusing all of our attention on the hit sci-fi horror series Stranger Things. Starring Millie Bobby Brown and Finn Wolfhard in the two leading roles, Stranger Things has become a global phenomenon since it aired on Netflix in 2016. Now, it's set on releasing its fourth season, which we are convinced is going to be one of the best ones yet. And that's some high praise considering how good seasons 1 through 3 were. If you're interested in finding out as much as humanly possible as there is to know about Stranger Things Season 4, then stick around. But before we get into today's video, don't forget to leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, and ding that notification bell so you never miss another update from us. We're also giving a fair word of warning that the rest of this video is subject to spoilers, so if you haven't caught all the way up, then click off now. You've been warned. Now that that's out of the way, let's jump into the fun stuff. First of all, what is Stranger Things anyway? Stranger Things is a Netflix original series that aired in 2016 and follows the peculiar happenings of a small town known as Hawkins, Indiana, and a group of outcast kids that get wound up in them. Now, let's have a bit of a recap as to how Season 3 and its finale left us. A lot's happened in the world of Stranger Things since it first came to our screens in 2016. A lot of strange things, wink wink, and over the years we've fallen in love with this ragtag bunch of kids who are bent on not only saving the world, but on saving their friend. Season 3 ended up taking a much darker turn than the series started out with. This change really highlighted the forced maturitization of the Dungeons & Dragons players, which in turn opened our eyes to the very real threat looming over not only Hawkins, but the world. Overall, Season 3 was the most gripping of the season so far, due to the fact that so much happened to the characters that we all know and love. Here's a couple of important bits that you may have missed with Stranger Things Season 3. First of all, Season 3 saw 11 lose her powers. Season 3 saw Elle struggle to keep a strong grasp on her powers, and eventually saw her on the road to losing them altogether. She exerted herself to the extreme when trying to battle the Mind Flayer throughout the season, and used a ton of energy to ensure that her and her friends were safe. We saw this battle come to a head in a scene that saw Jonathan slice into Eleven's leg and shove his fingers inside so as to help move a piece of the Mind Flayer that was inside of her. It was an incredibly grotesque scene that made even those of us with the strongest of stomachs need to turn away. Anywho, in the end, Jonathan was unable to recover and remove the Mind Flayer piece, and Eleven had to use the remaining bits of her power to eject it from her body. This in turn led to her not even being able to crush a Coke can with her telekinesis, meaning that she's just as vulnerable as anybody else. Not a good place to be for her and the rest of the team, but we're sure that Season 4 will see her again with her powers pretty quick. Next up is another bad thing that happened in Season 3. Billy died. Now, I know what you're all thinking, and you're right. Billy was kind of a jerk, but he by no means deserved to die. I mean, considering his biggest crime was what? Picking on little kids? He would have been a good character to redeem and include in future seasons, especially after he managed to begin redeeming himself in the final episode. Season 3, unfortunately, had saw Billy become slowly possessed and mind controlled by the Mind Flayer, which ended up causing him to do some pretty questionable things to other characters. It seriously put the group in danger at one point of the season finale, but thankfully, Eleven was able to break through to him. She was able to bring Billy back by talking about the memory of his mother. After Billy regained his own consciousness, he was able to stand up to the Mind Flayer and tragically died. He was killed instantaneously on the spot and ended up with tentacles protruding from his chest. Ugh, that's just downright gross. This death did get to us more than it should have though, because we can't stop thinking about poor Max not being able to say goodbye to her big brother. Last of all, Season 3 gave us the potential death of fan favorite Hopper. Fans had cried in uproar at the Season 3 finale because just as we were about to see destruction of the Mind Flayer and some level of peace for the characters, we had to watch them lose one of their own. Hopper is suddenly attacked by Arnie, and the two partake in a tense fight. Eventually, Hopper gets the upper hand of his opponent and hurls him into the energy-pumping laser. With all of this happening, Joyce was left alone to be the one that triggered the failsafe. Now, we did have a split second of hope that Hopper was going to be okay before it settled in that Joyce would have to sacrifice him. Selflessly, Hopper nods to her that it's okay and it needs to be done. This ends up leading to Joyce turning the key, obliterating the machine, and leaving Hopper and the Mind Flayer behind. However, the end of the episode has someone mentioning the American in the Russian bunker, and we learn that scientists are feeding prisoners to a caged Demogorgon. This may mean that Hopper survived and that he'll be caged up in season 4. Now, we have seen a quick glimpse of him in the trailer so as to confirm his survival, but we've honestly got no idea what's happened to him in the time that's passed. Also, there's the fact that even if he did survive the explosion, he's not the only one that did. Now, if you thought that season 3 was exciting, season 4 is just going to up the game for us. It's gotta have a ton of exciting stuff for us to look forward to. Before we talk about what sort of stuff that season 4 does have in store for us, when can we expect it to be released? Stranger Things season 3 aired on July of 2019, which is 2 years after season 2 was released. That means that season 4 was probably being anticipated to arrive at some point this year. Unfortunately though, due to the continuing global health situation, it's more than likely that we'll see it in spring or summer of 2022. But don't let the long wait slow you down though. It'll be here sooner than you think, and even when it is, it'll be worth the hype. Here's just a few reasons why season 4 of Stranger Things is going to be the definitive best season yet. For starters, the kids, and actors alike, are all grown up and have irrevocably changed by the trauma they faced. No longer are the days of plucky preteens playing Dungeons and Dragons in the buyer's basement. The kids are becoming full-fledged teenagers now and have more than a few brushes with death, so it's not all games and messing around anymore. Season 3 had saw Stranger Things take a darker tone than it normally would, and we think season 4 is going to be no different. In fact, it'll probably be the worst one yet, and we've got a feeling that the creators are really going to embrace the title of horror in the new season. With the actors now all grown up and well established, we can probably expect to see some frightening performances from them as well. Also, the Byers and Eleven are moving out of Hawkins. Hawkins had served us well for the entirety of Stranger Things, all the way from the pilot episode of season 1 till the closing credits in season 3. However, the Byers and Eleven are moving out of town in what we know will be a feasible attempt to be able to stay away from the danger and drama that Hawkins brings. The good thing about this though is that it is going to serve as a new and exciting landscape for the show. Not only will we be getting a fresh place for a new season, but the change of scenery will also do wonders for the plot. Moving away from Hawkins will significantly highlight how large the group's problems have become, as moving away from the little town is honestly going to do nothing to stop the Mind Flayer and actually might cause even further problems. Moving out of town does, however, mean that the group will be splitting up. And while this obviously is going to be sad, it does give the characters a lot of room to grow, which will be exciting to see. We're sure a train ride won't stop them from seeing one another, and we'll see them reunite soon. Season 4 will also introduce to us some really exciting new character dynamics. With the core group separated, we're guaranteed to see a lot of change for the kids in the way that their lives are set up. Honestly, we've got no idea what sort of relationship that Will and Eleven are going to share in the new season, and everything that's even happened so far, we're looking forward to seeing that one pan out. We're also positive that there's going to be a bunch more new characters thrown into the mix. This will make for some good new side spots. On top of all this, we're also going to see how Eleven and Joyce have adjusted to the seeming loss of Hopper. While the trailer that's been released does indicate he's alive, we've got no idea whether the character knows that or not. I mean, are they still living with the heartache of loss with him? We assume so because we're sure we'll get an on-screen reunion between them. How well will they have recovered by the time we see him again though? Finally, we'll get to the outcome of Eleven losing her powers. Seriously, how's she gonna do without it? Does she have them or does she not? And if not, how long does it take for her to get it back, if ever? The entirety of Stranger Things has revolved around Eleven's telekinesis, and now that she no longer exhibits this power, there's a whole new world of plot points that the Duffer Brothers can explore. We hope that they do something good with it, instead of just giving power back to her at the first sign of trouble. So there you have it. Season 4 is gonna be a pretty exciting ride. What are your expectations for the new installment of Stranger Things? Let us know in the comment section down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, as well as ding that notification bell so you never miss another update from us. Until next time folks, we'll see you later.